Hello and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Joystick Division podcast. My name is Lucas and I'm here with my fellow co-host David, and with us for the first time ever is the assistant to the great and powerful leader of North Korea and my stepdad, Ethan. It's been a busy few weeks and we have a lot to catch up on, as it always is in the gaming sphere, from PlayStation pricing woes to Disney preparing to elbow drop the industry, and some nice wholesome Animal Crossing discussion to round out the show. Stick around.
I'm gonna have sex with a trailer.
All right, so should we pretend like we're laughing at a joke? Like, always, whenever you hear the intro to a show, it's somebody fucking laughing at a joke, where they're like, ha! You're so funny, Gary. Wow. Anyway, we're filming a show. So, it's been a crazy time with us here backstage, just palling it up. So we have a new cast member this week. Is that what I'm hearing, David? Going to you live.
I'm terrified of him. I don't want to piss off North Korea, so everyone has to be on their best behavior.
So don't talk about his big nipples.
He definitely does not have a butthole. Okay, so
does not poop or pee.
No bathroom breaks for this man.
Hey, my name's Ethan. I like to party. I think I'm kind of a funny guy. Yeah, usually. I have a few.
Okay.
Jokes here and there to add to the mix, so thanks for letting me be here.
Certainly didn't hire him for his intelligence. Ooh. Anyway, so...
Yeah, or my charisma. I have 0 charisma.
True on all fronts. All right, so that's the introduction of Ethan, and we have an apology to make, because we, for the first time in our 4-week tenure, have missed an episode. I'm really sorry about that. It wasn't intentional. We had some audio issues we had to get ironed out, and we did record an episode, and it was dog doo-doo, and I was like, I am not going to put this out to people. Actually, David told me, we're not going to put this out to people, you dumb bitch, and so we didn't. And, but we're back this week, and we're gonna make up for it. We got news from last week and this week. We're going to mix them all together, and should be fun. Should be really fun. So, what have you guys been playing this week?
Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. Alright, so, it was originally released for the PlayStation 3. It got a remaster for the PlayStation 4, I think, in 2017. Might be wrong, don't quote me on that. But it's a game that, was really big in whatever atmosphere. It's not really a JRPG, but it's not like...
It's some weeb shit, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, it's some weeb shit. Studio Ghibli has, over 20 minutes of animated footage they put into the game. So,
that's actually kind of cool.
That's, the equivalent of, Pixar.
Dude, I know who Studio Ghibli is.
But maybe the audience doesn't.
I do watch a fair amount of anime. I don't care about the audience. This is between you and me, man. Anyway... I just feel like you talk down to me. You treat me like I'm not cultured, and it's unfair.
You are a cis white male.
You know what? That's valid. I'll just leave. Honestly, I'll leave the podcast.
Yeah, get out. We need more diversity.
But no, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's pretty lit. I've been watching a fair amount of anime myself this week.
No games?
No, actually, I've been kind of chained to my desk working on this project for school. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to school for technically it's game art, but I want to be an environment artist. And so I've been working on this level, God, it's just all week. I'm doing this Castle Dracula thing. And basically I've been painting models and putting them into my game. That's a huge oversimplification, but it's just taken up huge portions of my life. I was working this weekend because I work a full-time job, so weekend is the most time that I have to work on stuff. And I worked from the time I woke up on Saturday till the time I went to bed on Saturday, and then the same thing for Sunday, and I still wasn't even done with like the low ball of what I wanted to get done. So I've not played much this week, but I did play stuff last week. I played the Bleeding Edge beta. We're going to talk about that a little bit. So I do have stuff to talk about, but yeah, not much this week. Ethan, how about you?
I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2. I really like that game. I recently started over on it. I lost interest after a while just because of some poor story writing, I think, in my opinion. But overall, it's a great game.
Throwing
really
shots at Rockstar.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, I did one time, but from where I'm standing or from where I left off, they're just kind of ending it. But, to be fair, I did not finish the game, so I'll give it some time, and I really do like it. It's a lot of fun, a lot of stuff to do.
If it's not Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal, Ethan doesn't care about it, honestly, in terms of narrative structure.
That was peak literature.
Plus, that scene when they rip off that Sketsy's clothes, Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, man.
All right, so we have a question of the week. It's not from an audience member. We're still trying to trick them into our little white van of asking us questions. If you want to leave us a question, you can leave it in the pinned comment down below, or just get at us on Twitter, DM us, whatever you want to do, whatever.
Please.
I would love to just be thoroughly ravaged by your questions. Just come on, just be our friends. Just get on with it,
You can call me.
So I wrote this. It's not from my alter ego, Bob Jones. If you had to live on a desert island with one video game character, who would it be and
Donkey
why?
Kong.
Wow, that was fast. Can you please
that'd be
defend
terrifying.
that
He'd be
decision?
throwing barrels at you constantly.
No, not like retard Donkey Kong, but like new and improved like N64 Donkey Kong.
But the man, he's just an ape with a tie. Like
he can find bananas
terrifying.
anywhere. He can find bananas
anywhere.
And
plus,
he'll just wind up, punch your head in, and then eat you.
I think we get along.
Eventually, it's gonna lose its shit and it's gonna rip you apart.
He's a gorilla with really he's got veneers. And a tie. There's a lot
beautiful
there
smile.
That's disturbing. All right. Well, that's a decision.
That's a smile.
He'd provide me
though.
with food and
also
protection.
for the rest of your life, eventually he's gonna try and bang you. I feel like you're just both on the island.
Anything goes. Uncharted waters. Who's gonna save you? Especially against a gorilla.
Donkey Kong has respect.
He'll just bang you and think about Diddy Kong.
I don't like the implications you're making about Donkey Kong. I'm gonna have to leave the show.
I'm just saying. Anyway, Ethan, if you had to live on a desert island with one video game character, who would it be?
Banjo and Kazooie, nuts and bolts. How they could make their own cars and stuff using just random junk.
No, one character, you son of a bitch. Banjo
no,
or Kazooie?
That is one character. They're together. You don't have Banjo without Kazooie. You know what I'm saying?
They are separate, distinct individuals. They're not attached at the hip. One is not a tumor on the other. You can pick one character. Just because Mario and Luigi are always together doesn't mean you can pick Mario and Luigi. They're different.
Fuck. Okay, can you skip me real quick then?
We'll come back to you. All right. So if I had to live on a desert island with one video game character, I would choose the Emperor... Emperor Uriel Septim, voiced by Patrick Stewart in Oblivion, who dies. You know what I'm talking about at the beginning of the game? Because he seems like a pretty chill dude. And I feel like we could smoke weed together and hang out. I think it'd be cool.
I think he would definitely try to touch your butt. I'm sorry to say, but he definitely would.
What? I really didn't hear what you said.
I said that he would definitely try touching your butt.
And he cut out again. Okay. Now, what would he do to me on a desert island?
He would touch your butt.
Every time you go to start talking, it just immediately craps out. Do you have a VPN? Possibly.
What does that mean?
Okay, never mind. Definitely don't have one. Okay. What would Uriel Septim say to me, Ethan? Oh, that's nice. I'm glad. I'm glad we finally got that message. That's good. Let's roll right into PC news. David, you want to get us started?
Yeah, why not? All right. Everybody's favorite Gaben and company, are rolling out a new feature to recommend players new Steam games when they don't know what to play so they can keep bringing in that Kathy Bates type money. The new feature will use an algorithm based on the games you play that will recommend things you may like in an ever-growing and increasingly daunting catalog of Steam games.
Yeah, and so this, to clarify, this is from your actual Steam library. So if you're like me and you have like almost like somewhere in the neighborhood of like 300 or plus games, and you play like 2 of them, it will recommend you things to play that you haven't played before based on what you've been into recently or whatever. So yeah, it seems like a service that is needed.
I've been noticing the last couple of times I've been on Steam, and I like it. There's a lot of games out there, a lot of games you might not know about, or you just might be stumped, you don't know what you want to do, and just a smarter algorithm.
Well, yeah, it's all from your library, though.
What?
Yeah,
it only recommends games you own?
Yes.
Oh.
Like games you haven't played, or...
So like games you own that's kind of dumb.
I mean, it's cool if you have a lot of games and you haven't played a lot of them.
Like, chances are you know what's in your library, though.
I would say yes. So, I don't know if there's a need for the service, but it's interesting. Like, I don't mind that it's there. It's nice because, like, sometimes maybe you're playing a game and you're like, I don't know what else to play. It's like, hey, what about this? And you're like, yeah, maybe I will try that.
That's so weird.
Ethan, you a big Steam guy?
I've never used Steam, actually. I've always been curious about it, but I'm not a PC gamer at all. I'm totally inexperienced when it comes to anything computer, obviously. But yeah, I've always wondered about it.
You're like an 85-year-old man with computers. You're like my shambling grandpa as he disintegrates walking down the road. Like, you're that level of technologically proficient.
As soon as I look at a computer, I poop my pants instantly, and I forget who I am. It's actually the doctors say it's purely psychological, but it doesn't feel like it.
Okay, it feels intentional to me.
It was frightening. I experienced it firsthand.
It wasn't the volume, but rather the noise. You know, thunderous, one could say.
But
all right, David, you want to take us into the next thing? Oh, Christ.
No,
okay,
go
what?
ahead. We'll move on because it.
No, Ethan, we'll wait for you.
I do have Xbox Game Pass, and I kind of feel like it's the same thing. Maybe.
Are we talking about Xbox Game Pass right now, Ethan?
But I would like to.
Is that what we're discussing?
What's up, Microsoft? Yeah.
Dude, we have an Xbox portion of the show. We already get shit on for being Xbox.
That's why I said I probably shouldn't talk about this. Now you're yelling at me, and I feel foolish.
I'm just fucking with you. All right. David.
Further from the recesses of Gabe's lair, the release date for the much anticipated VR title Half-Life Alyx has been revealed. The game is set to release on March 23rd, and pre-orders are 10% for those who already own a Valve Index. And on top of that, all of the previous Half-Life games are free to play until the launch. So it sounds like they're trying to get everyone, the Half-Life fan base, rehyped for the franchise. Maybe
to sell them VR headsets.
Maybe they plan on doing other stuff. Half-Life 3 confirmed?
I don't particularly... I've never been a big Half-Life guy. Like, I've never really played them, so I don't really have an opinion one way or another on them. But I am not a VR guy right now. Like, until that technology improves to be more usable, like, and where I don't have to have, 87 wires or have to drill shit into my wall, I just am not interested. And it's so expensive. I'm just I can't.
You'd rather just put a chip in your head, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I want to fucking plug me into the stasis tank in the Matrix, put the tubes down my throat and into my spine, put me in the simulation, because I don't want to know that I'm surrounded by fucking claustrophobic cords, or I don't want to have to be, what do you call that, a hardware man, a guy who installs things in buildings?
An electrician?
No. A fucking...
What?
Contractor, a contractable, like a bionicle who contracts jobs.
And here's my concern, Lucas, with this whole VR thing. What if you're playing VR one day and those wires get wrapped around your neck and you don't know what the fuck's going on? You got that.
Well, then you just start
You got
jerking
the
off.
headset on. And, exactly.
What if you think it's part of the game?
Yeah, dude. And you just start beating the shit out of your mom because you think she's some orc or something. You know.
Exactly. But no, if you are choking to death, you just go for the what does Bodhi say to Johnny Utah in fucking Point
just
Break?
watched this last night.
I watched it the other night. That's crazy. I made Taylor watch it again. She hates that movie. But
What?
Anyway, I don't know. I don't understand. It's amazing. But anyway, what's he say? He's like it's the big ride. It's the big ride, Johnny. That's what that last when you ejaculate as you're being choked to death by your headset cord.
It's the way I'd want to go.
Pretty much
honestly.
it's the last big ride. That's Patrick Swayze 2020. It's a quote.
Halo Combat Evolved began its first round of flighting for those lucky enough to get invited. Catching up to the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, this will be Combat Evolved's 5th release over the course of its nearly 20-year lifespan.
I was counting, and I think that's right, but I could be wrong on that.
Why, then, is it not getting the same hate Skyrim gets? Damn you, Bungie! You scumbags!
Because it's a better game than Skyrim, but
They're just squeezing us for more money that I will happily hand out.
I got invited to this flight, but I've been so busy this week I didn't even get a chance to try it, and now the window is over and I feel like a piece of shit. But honestly, I've played that game since I was a literal fetus, so I really don't think there's an experience that Combat Evolved can provide for me that's different from what I've had so far, but I am genuinely excited because I feel like Combat Evolved is really underrated as a multiplayer. It's super janky, but I love it so much, and it's just like a party game, like the way it's designed, and I really enjoy Combat Evolved, like a lot. Both visually and in gameplay-wise. So I'm excited to see this on PC. Yeah, David, are you edging during the podcast?
I was talking to you, Lucas.
Oh, I am edging.
He's trying
yes.
to deflect.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not
shoving up
deflecting.
over it a little bit. I'm shoving up, but
And I'm already halfway there. I gotta keep it careful though. I don't want to do it till finish till after the show. That's my celebratory, like right into the mic usually.
State of Decay 2 is getting a big upgrade with its Steam release. The game is being overhauled with tons of new content. The new Juggernaut version of the game includes an extra open-world map called Providence Ridge, an improved post-tutorial experience to introduce the mechanics, a new category of heavy melee weapons, various graphical improvements, more music, bug fixes, and also all of the previously released DLC will come with it for free.
David, sometimes when you read like a blurb, you sound like a first grader who's been called on to read who was not prepared for it in any way. So you just go like state of decay.
Dude, I think you're great. Don't let me just get to you.
I cannot be on this show.
So last week Isaac talked about State of Decay 2 when we recorded our dog shit quality podcast, and the rest of us have only like really barely tried it. I don't know about you, David, but Isaac said some really glowing things about it, and he was talking about some really cool mechanics where you can like vote somebody out of your group if you think
Lucas,
they're
can I correct you
infected
for
and
a
shit like
second?
that.
That was me.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're just so interchangeable. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Ethan. I'm so sorry. You're totally right.
No, it's cool. Like Lucas was saying, there's a lot of cool things you can do with that game. Like say your one of your survivors gets bit, you have a choice. You can either shoot them there, you can exile them from your group, or you can try to get them the cure. The cure is fairly easy to find, but it's kind of a bitch. You have to run into these things. I can't remember the name of them offhand. I haven't played in a while, but they were like these red zombies, and they were stronger than usual.
So there's a cure, but there's still zombies?
Yeah, like it cures you. Okay, holy shit. Now that you say that out loud, I am like, wow, that is really But all in all, it is a very fun game.
We have this cure, but fuck all those people who are zombies.
So like you can like different like survivors in your group have different abilities. Like say one was a chef before the outbreak, then they're good at cooking, or if they were a farmer, they're good at farming, and so you'd like put them in that job. Like you have to make all these different like facilities for your outposts. Also,
what would I contribute since I'm going to school for games and I work in a warehouse with like car parts? What would I do?
What would you?
I don't know anything about
I think
cars.
yours would just be
to
electronics
fair.
then. Like, fuck, dude. I work for a water softening company. What would mine be? Wanting to die? No, I'm just joking.
Softening.
I love my job. But
I'd probably exile both of you.
I was just gonna say, water is really hard, so it's tough for me to drink. Could you come soften it up for me?
Dude, I will totally. Dude, all I do, here's what I do. I put the water in a bowl.
Those are ice cubes, Lucas.
Massage it. I just,
massage it.
Sorry, massage.
Massage
oh my
me.
God. Can I take this off script for a minute?
I mean, we're already way off script, so go for it.
One time when I was little, I was drinking this big glass of milk.
No, you fucking weren't.
I thought it'd be like smart to put ice in it because I wanted it cold. So I was drinking this iced milk,
dude.
And
you're an animal.
I took this big swig, and a whole ass ice cube slid down my throat, and I swallowed it, and I had a stomach ache for like at least like
what
15
the hell,
minutes.
Man? It just how cold was that ice?
It was crazy. It just like it just slid right down.
Mom, I used that dry ice you had in the freezer, and for some reason it really hurt my stomach.
I don't feel good. Like the steam's coming out of his mouth.
Dude, you want to hear some crazy shit? Like really, really related to that? Sorry, I know we're way off the beaten track here, but...
What?
Okay, so I had to start taking these pills for an undisclosed medical condition that I will not talk about on this podcast. But
chronic diarrhea.
Anal fissures, actually. I'm just kidding.
What is that?
I don't know, but it sounds terrible. Anyway,
is that what you have, dude?
No, it's not what I have. It's not like a disease. Anyway, so
fucking freak.
I was just sitting there working at my computer, and all of a sudden, this fucking like. I swear to God, like horror movie ghost possession vapor starts coming out of my mouth for no reason. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I couldn't breathe. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And there's just this vapor coming out of my fucking mouth. It was like a fucking possession. And it tasted like those fucking pills that I had to take. So I'm assuming it was from that, but it could have just been an actual ghost possession.
Maybe it was leaving your body.
You do sound a little different.
Oh, this was weeks ago, man. You would have known.
How do we not already know? Like, what if I don't want to get into this. It's freaking me out.
Ethan, you want to take us into Nintendo news?
Can I actually add one more thing about Daisy? State of Decay. Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. State of Decay 2. One of the DLCs is actually pretty cool. The only one I know. Actually, the Independence Day pack, that's pretty cool. Like, you get a lot of cool cars.
You get Will Smith.
Yes. And
Welcome to Earth.
Who was that other guy? Was Russell Crowe in that? No. I'm thinking of Kurt Russell. Was he in that movie? Who was the president?
Bill Paxton?
You're thinking of John Woo.
Not
no,
Bill
dude.
Paxton.
Who was the president in Independence Day?
Keith David?
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Yeah, absolutely. It was not Keith David.
Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman.
That does not.
Bill Pullman, dude from fucking Spaceballs.
Dude from everything. Every Saturday Night Live skit you've ever seen. This Bill Pullman's in there somewhere. It might just be a lamp.
I'm more of a Mad TV guy.
Is Mad TV still around?
No, but it's a lot. It's more genuine. I don't
what
know.
I can do.
Yeah, see?
Ethan, you wanna take us into Nintendo news here?
Yes.
Oh wait, you can skip the first one because this happened. We called this. So I wrote this last week, but we totally called this. I'll talk about this. I'm so sorry. Last week we predicted that there would in fact be a Nintendo Direct for Animal Crossing, and we were fucking right. And you can just take my word on that and believe me because it really happened. And they talked about Animal Crossing New Horizons, and they talked about a lot of the new features that are going to be in it, and a lot of it seems like a lot of really nice quality of life improvements, and I will definitely be buying that game day one. And you guys will definitely hear a review from me on it, and about the horrible things that I do to my villagers to experiment on them.
Ew.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about Animal Crossing. You guys play Animal Crossing at all? Anybody?
No.
I've always wanted to play it, but I never got the
Dude,
chance.
you fucking
to,
should.
and
Honestly, it's like a game that anybody who can
Dude,
enjoy. I think.
I can't bring myself to it.
Dude, I'm telling you, just
David's
try
too
it
manly.
once, dude. I don't care. I play fucking everything. I don't care if it's fucking manly.
Hey, chill.
Listen, I don't have any manhood, okay? It got ripped off. That's what the pills are for, Ethan. I was defending your country. I was defending your country in fucking Grenada, dude, and it just got blown off.
Look, you were in Grenada last week. Fucking Tasmanian devil took your dick off.
You're right. It was Taz from Looney Tunes. He came tornadoing in the room. He ripped it off.
He's like,
and he took it.
He just stuck an arm out.
You know, you guys are laughing, but this is really affected my fucking life, man.
While Jeff Keighley has dropped out of Nintendo and several other third-party companies have doubled down on E3, as the list of attendees was released, the ESA even put out a statement saying several leading video game companies have already committed to participating in E3 2020, including Xbox, Nintendo, Ubisoft, Bethesda Softworks, Sega, Capcom, Square Enix, Take-Two Interactive Software, Bandai Namco Entertainment, America Incorporated, holy shit, and Warner Brothers Games, among others, in an attempt to shield themselves from growing concerns that the conference is on its last legs. And you know what that tells me? It tells me that it is on its last legs, you know?
Yeah, because Jeff Keighley is the most important factor in that. Okay, I'm not saying that the E3 isn't having a down couple of years.
Oh, no.
You okay, man?
Dude, my door was open, so I threw my boot at it, and I have this little Crypt Keeper guy, and it, like, hit him. And, yeah, I hope it's all right. Man, I really like that guy, man.
I don't know why this is even news, honestly, though, because like I said, I'm not saying that E3 hasn't gone down in quality and that people aren't getting fed up with it, but I really doubt that the E3 brand is going to be completely irrelevant in any time soon. And Jeff Keighley literally runs the closest thing to an E3 replacement that you can get. Like, he's trying to make the Video Game Awards the new place where companies come and announce their big games and people watch it. And he's been doing a good job with growing it. But, I mean, I don't know why anyone's surprised he's not going to his competition show. Like, that doesn't make sense to me why he would go. Jeff Keighley seems like a nice guy, but I can't get past his weird ass eyes. So, like, every time I look at him talk, I'm just looking at the one, like, James Franco lazy Spider-Man 3, like, lazy eye that's going everywhere, and I can't.
Oh man, he does have crazy
Hold
eyes.
on, let me look this mug up.
Check this mug, bro.
Oh, dude, he looks like one of the Imperial default characters off Oblivion.
He kind of does. I thought you were gonna say Star Wars, and I think that fits too. Can't you picture him in an Empire uniform?
Yeah,
like an Imperial officer uniform.
Yeah. Like, okay, remember Knights of the Old Republic?
Like he's fucking off on the Death Star.
Like, his class would be Smuggler. Like, he looks super cocky, and he looks like he's really fucked up, and he hasn't slept in weeks.
Yeah, those people in his basement been keeping him up.
Yeah. Oh, he's Canadian. That explains.
Ethan, do you think E3 is dead or dying, or is Jeff Keighley an indicator that we should all panic?
You know, let me tell you, Lucas. Here's my opinion on it. E3 has always been. It always has a special place in my heart. You know, I remember going to E3 last year and I didn't even go. What am I talking about? I went to your house and I watched it with you, actually. And, you know, seeing you that excited, Lucas, it really did me have hope. But with this, you know, guy, he's a grub. Let's be real. I don't think he.
That's fair. And with Nintendo doubling down, it tells me that they don't really give a fuck because they have a Nintendo Direct and they're like, we'll just go to everything. Fuck you.
You may want to pack some heat next time you're out playing Yoshi's Crafted World under a dim street lamp, because if this story out of Detroit Shoreway neighborhood, Cleveland, Ohio, is any indication, people will do anything to get their hands on a Nintendo Switch. 20-year-old John C. Dominic was walking along playing a Switch when he was confronted by a man who gave him a choice. The man pointed a revolver and a switchblade at Dominic like he was in a John Woo movie and asked, you either get shot or stabbed. John chose option C and gave him the Switch, which seemed to smooth things over and keep him from being mortally wounded. He did obviously take the right choice. I mean, who wants to get shot or stabbed?
Well, here's the thing. He only gave him two choices. That's what I'm confused about. Is this guy came up, he didn't ask for anything. He didn't ask for money. He didn't ask for the Switch. He just said, he was holding a revolver in one hand, a switchblade in the other, like he's he's Pony Boy or some shit.
Dude, all I picture is a goddamn. He looks like a pirate in my head.
Pirate? Why would a pirate have a switchblade? Unless you mean like today pirates, like sad pirates.
Yeah,
like impoverished country
like all
pirates,
Potbelly
yeah.
and stuff, and like fly. Oh, dude, like, my bad. Like back that
I
one
am
up
the
a little
captain now. Anyway, but no, he's like, you could get shot or stabbed. He didn't even get, like, those are the only two options.
Yeah, like
It's
he didn't want money or anything. He's just like, you know what? I can't really make up my mind what I want to do
stab.
today. He's like,
what am I gonna do on this Saturday evening? I might threaten to murder someone.
I bet the fun and wholesome innocence of Yoshi's Crafted World casts a spell on him. He's like, damn, I don't need to do this evil shit.
yeah, like what if
I'm
he
gonna
like
go home
gets
and
all?
play
What
this?
if he like that changed him that day? He's like, oh wow, holy shit, that guy just gave me something when I was gonna like, shoot him or stab him. And, like now he's just like, he's online playing Yoshi's Crafted World with like all of the young kids, chatting it up, having friends finally, and
Chatting it up with the young kids. That shows a change, man. No, I just love that he was probably at like the weapons store and was like looking at both the switchblade and the revolver, and he's like, I just can't decide.
what he should have done is tape or like somehow weld the switchblade to his gun.
Oh, like a gun blade.
Nothing says cool like a gun blade. Yeah, if you guys played Monster Hunter, you know.
Monster Hunter is so like, I want to play that game. I want to like that game, but I can't get over how big and stupid the weapons look in it. And I'm just like, I can't do big two-handed anime sword.
Dude, okay, I will say everything is way too awkward in that game. Like the portions, it's just like think about it. Like, okay, I get it's a game, and I get it's just, like kind of anime, so like it doesn't really have to make sense. But like if you're using a gun sword like that, like those bolts are huge, man. Like that like tear your arm off. And how are you holding on to that?
And like in anime, I can kind of suspend my disbelief because like the way people move and stuff in 2D animation is very different. But when it's fucking 3D, I don't know, there's just something that I can't jive with it, man. David, you want to take us into Xbox news?
The Bleeding Edge beta. Let's talk about it.
All right, so I played it. Did anybody else play it? Try it?
I played it. My 2-year-old son played it.
Yeah, I heard he was stomping your shit in, like just absolutely pushing your shit in on this game. So I played a good, I want to say probably a good 2 hours of it. So nothing super impressive, but enough to get a feel for the game. I'm going to start with kind of the positives of it, and then I'll get into my gripes with it. So positives, the combat feels a lot better than I thought it would. Like it feels a lot chunkier than I thought it would, and just like watching it like on a screen or like on a stream, it doesn't seem like that, but like when you're playing it, it does feel like you're actually hitting people pretty hard. So like I will say that it's pretty satisfying. The game modes are fun, even though nobody ever plays the fucking objective like at all ever. And the characters that are there are pretty distinct, pretty unique. And like the hoverboard, you can like fly around on a hoverboard around the map, and that's really cool. That's fun. It's a cool little game mode or game mechanic. And the music and the visual style is really nice, and it feels very like OG Xbox party game to me. So I do like that about it. My biggest gripes with the game are there's only like 8 characters or 6 characters or something. I think like 8, but it feels like they're missing like half the roster. Like there should be double the amount of characters that there are in it. And I know it's a smaller game. I know it's not like a big AAA Overwatch or whatever, but it just feels like there needs to be more. And like I played all the characters and I was already like, all right, I don't feel like there's I'm like I feel like this would get old pretty quickly with the characters that they have now. The customization is really cool. You can customize like your board and different stuff. So that's cool. But like, yeah, like I said, my biggest gripe with it is that there just needs to be more characters. David, what'd you think?
I thought that it was all right. I wish either the hoverboard actually made a significant difference in how fast you were.
You go faster on the hoverboard.
Barely.
Okay. Hoverboards need to be faster. David Sales.
The maps need to be smaller, and or the character's movement speed needs to be faster.
I would agree with that. I would also agree that, like, I feel like the hoverboard, I hate the control. Like, you have to hold right on the D-pad, and it's like, that takes so long. I wish it was just a button that you just, like, pulled it out really quick, because that could make for, like, speedier gameplay. You could be like, all right, I'm going to try and get this to the fucking, like, the thing to the location, and it could be, like, a lot faster. So yeah, I agree with that.
It felt like a game that would thrive in that, like, crazy, chaotic, fast-paced area, but the mechanics and map sizes that they have now just don't allow for that. It's definitely got potential. I just think it needs more improvement.
It does, and I feel like if it finds an audience on Game Pass, it could really blossom into something really nice. Did you play the train map at all?
I don't know.
There's a map where a train runs through like every 2 seconds, and I swear to God, I got murdered by the train like 8,000 times. You could just not tell when it's coming at all. And it's like literally over the objective in one part, and like I'm all for environmental hazards, but oh my God, it was so irritating. It bothered the shit out of me. I'm sorry.
As someone who hasn't really seen anything for this game personally, like, what could you compare it to, I guess?
I would say it's the best thing I could say is it's Smash Bros meets Overwatch, but not as good.
Okay. I'd check it out, honestly. I do have Game Pass, like I was saying earlier. I have been looking at it, so...
Yeah, the beta is over, but I think it comes out in April? March? Something like that.
Fuck!
So yeah.
Just my luck.
All right, David, you want to take us into the next thing? Your favorite subject?
Project xCloud made its way to iOS this week for those who signed up for the beta. It featured only the Master Chief Collection, but allowed users to get a chance to try it out on their iPhones. This comes after a lot of doubt as to whether Apple would allow a competing store on their platform.
So I tried this. I know for a fact David didn't try it, and I know Ethan doesn't have the bandwidth to try this.
Yeah, dude, I'm running on like a fucking 90s like internet over here, dude, like dial up.
Yeah, Ethan has like an entire another building that's just fucking servers from the 1980s, like that are just barely keeping him connected to his Soviet era fucking internet.
Every time I walk into that place, it gives me radiation poisoning. I get very sick.
It is. So yeah, I played this. Like I said, I don't like we've talked about streaming before. I don't think it's ever going to be the preferred way to play, or at least not until network infrastructure gets a lot better. But I will say it's just like an option to have. It's really awesome. Like the lag was there. Like there was some latency, I'm not going to lie, but it wasn't bad. Like it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, especially for running on a fucking iPhone over a Bluetooth controller. Like I was really amazed at how little there was. So yeah, it was really fun. It'd be an awesome thing to just be like, oh, you're sitting on the bus or whatever the fuck, and you just like pull out your fucking phone, play some Halo. It was pretty cool. So like, I dug it. It's a cool option to have.
So you can play Halo on your phone, Lucas?
Yeah.
You can play it on your phone.
Yeah, with an Xbox controller. Mm-hmm.
You know, that's something I can get around, you know?
Mm-hmm. David hates it, so don't tell
David,
him that you like it.
I appreciate you and all, but fuck your opinion. I think that's pretty
you have
cool.
Several fetal deformities.
Yeah, dude. Like, he got, like, 6 toes.
Yeah, only 6 on both. Not like he has 6 toes on each foot, like, total.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, he has 1 foot that's just, like, a lump with, like, 1 toe in the middle.
Yeah, it's, like, sticking straight up. And it's fucking Guy Fieri's face on the bottom of the heel. And every time he steps down, he goes, yeah, Flavortown. I don't know what the fuck Guy Fieri says. I don't watch that shit.
Goodness.
All right. Next thing, David. Come on. Keep it rolling.
In other xCloud news, Microsoft announced their partnership with Samsung this week. Though what this partnership will result in, it's clear the relationship between the two companies is growing closer than ever, and that they may really be in love.
God, you know, I hope so. That is so cute, I think.
Yeah, that's supposed to be last week and unclear. Anytime you hear something this week, it was probably last week because I'm a piece of shit and I don't proofread my scripts. But
do better, Lucas.
No, yeah. So no one really knows. I'll fucking try, Mom. It's not clear what this is going to be like resulting in right now, but I know that a lot of Samsung's stuff has like bits of Microsoft code in it, like especially with their last phone or something like that. I heard somebody talking about, I can't even remember where, but essentially the two companies have been getting more buddy, and so with the whole like xCloud thing, it'll be interesting to see if maybe there's like a handheld in the works or something along those lines, or maybe like a gaming phone that's specifically targeted towards people who want to be able to play streaming on the go or whatever. I know it's incredibly popular in South Korea, so.
So what you're saying is like, remember like the PSP, like an Xbox version of that?
Yeah, but like a phone is what I would imagine it would be.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have like the controllers on it, but maybe it would come with like a Switch style, like clip it on. I'm just spitballing here. This is totally hypothetical, but like that's just kind of.
Dude, watch. You're gonna be right. Honestly, that sounds to me like the best route for something like that.
Yeah, I think it could be really cool, honestly. And it's nice because they said in South Korea, people spend like twice as long playing on xCloud. So it could be a good way for them to break into the Eastern markets that have so evaded them.
While the Xbox One has struggled in sales, it seems the new Xbox Elite Series 2 has found a place in the market for both PC and console users because it is now the 5th fastest selling console accessory of all time.
Yeah. Do you guys know what number 1 is? Just take a fucking wild guess.
The accessory?
You would never. I really don't think you would guess this in 1,000 years. Yeah.
It's probably the fucking Wi-Fi adapter for the Xbox 360 or something.
Okay. Ethan, what's your guess?
We asked the question again.
It's like a memory card.
What
maybe?
is the highest selling console accessory of all time?
Oh. Gosh,
I'm locking it in as memory cards.
Man, I would have to get like controllers. Would that count?
Yeah, controllers are accessories.
Okay, yeah, then I would say that. Like, I mean, especially remember Wildcat. Remember how shitty those were? You had to buy one like every other fucking month.
It's actually the GameCube controller. I'm just kidding. That's not what it is. It should be though. No, the highest selling console accessory of all time is the fucking Xbox Kinect.
Oh,
I'm pissed.
I know. I was so furious when I saw it. I was
remember
like,
how
what the
cool
fuck?
that was for like a day, but then you're just like, God, this sucks. Like,
Dude, this is terrible. Yeah, and like you didn't even want it, but they just gave it to you, and you're like, I'm not gonna use this. Like, I don't want this.
it's because no one wanted it. They were like, fuck. Well, actually, no. Obviously, people did want it.
Nope, people did not want it. That was one of the major issues because the Xbox One came out and they're like, it's going to have to always be connected to the internet to work, and there's a Kinect in it. And everyone was like, I'd rather not. Oh. The Xbox Elite controller, we didn't actually talk about that. Do you guys have one of those?
No, my brother does, though, and I hear nothing but good things about it. He says it's really cool.
Yeah, I always hear people rave about it, and it looks sick. I just don't have an extra $200 to drop on a controller.
No shit, dude. This is like, oh my God, can you imagine spending that much on a controller? Like, I bought, God, I can't even think of the name. It was like the Xbox controller that has like the sort of grips on the front, I guess. It was like six.
Yeah.
It's like Combat Tech or something.
Yeah, what the hell is that called?
I think it's literally called it's supposed to look like Kevlar or whatever.
Yeah,
I have it.
That was
I'm
like
a sucker for
$60.
controllers.
That was $60.
I have the
dude.
red one.
Yeah, I have the red one as well. I have a lot of controllers because
I have the green one.
Slut for controllers. I don't actually have that one. But $200 is just that's just.
What even besides adding paddles? What does it do?
It's got a way longer battery life. You can change out the sticks and the bumpers and the buttons and stuff like that, and you can adjust like the resistance on the sticks and the triggers. And
Jesus.
And you can charge it. Like it's got a charging case and stuff, and it's like I said, it lasts like way longer. It's like all kinds of stuff. It's like quality.
Like more work than I want to put into a controller.
There's also buttons on the back of it you can like assign to. Like, okay,
paddles.
this is like, sure, whatever. Like, and
no, David said paddles at the beginning of his thing.
Oh, did you already talk about this though? Because I feel like I might be repeating what you said.
No, you can for people who don't know, go ahead.
Oh, there's these like little paddles on the back, and you can assign certain buttons to them. So like you wouldn't have to say like you're playing like Call of Duty or some shit like that. Like you wouldn't have to move your finger to press RT. Like you would literally just like sort of move your finger down, and that button's right there. And then like I got A right next to that one and stuff like that. Like you can basically like customize your controller layout.
You use it to most people put the face buttons on the thing so they don't have to reach up to press them. So like they'll put like Y, B, X maybe, and then like maybe reload on the other one so that they can just do that all really fast and they don't have to fucking like move their hands as much, so it's a little quicker. It's cool. It's just not worth 200 for me yet.
Yeah,
so
agreed.
All right. Dave, you want to take us into the last Xbox news for this week? But it's a big one.
Big Daddy Phil Spencer, confirmed that the Xbox Series X specs, including the GPU running at a whopping 12 teraflops and a lightning-quick SSD.
Yeah, so they confirmed a lot of the specs that people have been talking about, including 12 teraflops, which is insane, especially for a console. It's kind of crazy how beefy this console is going to be. It's going to be a monster, especially for the price you're probably going to end up getting it at, which is, it's going to be $500. Yeah, so that's like really awesome. This is going to run games at a pretty fucking nice level, especially for what you're paying. I'm excited.
Oh yeah,
have that big ass monolith. Ooh, yeah, give it to me.
Real quick before I forget, this is Xbox news. If you buy the Xbox One version of Cyberpunk, you will not need to buy the Xbox Series X version.
I'm very excited for Cyberpunk. I've been waiting for that game since 2013?
Yeah, like 2013, I think. Yeah, no, that game's going to be absolutely incredible.
I'm never going to play another video game again. I'm literally going to lock myself in a room.
I'm tampering my expectations. Because here's why.
No, don't.
Here's why. Listen to me. CD Projekt Red is an incredible developer.
Yes.
And they've made a couple of really good games now. And I have confidence that the game will be good. But they keep delaying it. And every time I hear something about it, it seems too good to be true. When I see gameplay, I'm like, a lot of this seems too good to be true. So I'm trying to tamper my expectations that it won't be everything they promise and more. But we'll see. I expect it to be incredible, but I'm preparing for things to not be exactly what I want. Does that make sense? Like, I'm preparing to be let down so that when they inevitably make it up to me or like prove me wrong, I will enjoy it that much more. Like, I do genuinely think it's going to be a good game, but I am a little bit worried just by how much they're promising, because every time I hear that in games, it's never what they promise.
Yeah, and they're always like, "Oh, we're making it better."
Yeah, like, "Oh, every decision you make in this game is going to affect every character at a micro level, and oh my god, there's infinite worlds you can fucking." It's like, no. I'm not saying that they're promising more than they can deliver. I'm just saying they're promising a lot, and I believe they can deliver it, but it's like to the extent that they're saying. I hope. I'm excited. Yeah, nervously excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, me too.
I'm gonna have to get going.
David is exiting the podcast because he's a coward. So me and Ethan are gonna finish this one together while David goes and sees his whore.
Yes, my whore named Trailer Equipment.
Trailer Equipment?
I'm gonna have sex with a trailer.
You gonna weld your dick to the trailer? He welds trailers. How country is that, boys?
David is a tractor.
Yes. But thanks for having me.
You're a co-host of this podcast. Thanks for having me, guys.
He's a guest star. Fuck out of here, man.
Ethan, Lucas, take it away.
All right, have fun on the Ben Shapiro show.
What?
All right, in PlayStation news, we got a shitload of stuff in PlayStation news that's happened over the past couple weeks. So just stick with us here. According to Naughty Dog co-director Anthony Newman, The Last of Us Part 2 is going to redefine AAA when the game releases later this year. Many criticize the E3 gameplay showcase for being a little too good to be true, but it could be for once in the gaming industry. What we're seeing is actually what we're getting. So yeah, E3 trailer came out, I want to say, a year or two ago, and it first showed off gameplay, and it looked super smooth. Like, the transition from animation of, like, Ellie bashing some dude's face in with an axe to, like, regular her walking around gameplay looked so seamless, and it was so, like, such a step above what we have right now that a lot of people were like, I mean, it looks awesome, but, like, this seems like head and shoulders above beyond, like, what exists now, so, I mean, is this possible? And so then they delayed it, and people were like, it could be because they were like, shit, we promised this, we're going to get it to this level. So if they really do get it to, like, that level of quality, it will be head and shoulders above any game on the market right now, in my opinion.
I agree. Actually, because I never personally played the first one, but I've seen people play it, and it looked really good. I was wanting to play it, but I am an Xbox person. I never really got a chance to play it, but yeah, I thought it looked really good. The graphics are fucking beautiful. That game is awesome. It's like you're basically watching a movie. Like if you're sitting down and watching someone play a game, that would be one to watch. From what I've seen of the second one, the trailer looked really good. All I remember really is what you mentioned was that guy getting his face bashed, and that was pretty intense. But yeah, I think it should be a pretty good game.
Yeah, I played the first one and I really enjoyed it. The story was great. I thought the acting was incredible. I didn't jive with some of the gameplay. I felt a little repetitive in some parts to me, but I still did really enjoy the game overall. And I'm really excited to see what they do with this one. I know Naughty Dog's going to knock it out of the park because everything they put out is a banger, especially recently. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do, and we'll definitely be reviewing it here on this podcast.
God, I fucking hope so.
Yeah. Anything else on The Last of Us Part 2, Ethan?
I just hope it's a good game, and I hope everyone who buys it has a good time playing.
Yeah, I hope Ellie beats the shit out of all those other muscular women characters that are... Have you seen some of those models?
No.
It's like models of women in the game, and some of them are so fucking beefy, dude. They look like if Ultimate Fighter ate another, like a pro wrestler. That's what they look like.
That sounds hot.
Just like fucking jacked. They look like Summer in Rick and Morty after her and Rick do steroids and go around and beat the shit out of everyone. Like, that's what they look. Yeah, it's scary.
If there's one thing that I look for in a woman, Lucas, it is muscles on the boob. I am
absolutely.
Yes.
If I can't tell whether or not it's a peck or a boob, it's a good day. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
According to Bloomberg, a news organization with a track record of reliable corporate leaks, Sony is struggling with the cost of the PS5. This was indicated by their wait-and-see approach with Microsoft, but this article gives more credence to that narrative. With the next generation being a large leap in hardware, the parts to make these consoles are costlier. According to Bloomberg, the base cost to make a PS5 is around $450, and that's not including shipping or retailer markups, like people like Amazon and GameStop that take a cut of those profits. This would mean that unless Sony sells the PS5 at $500, they'll be operating at a loss for some time. The cost of the PS4 was about $381 to make and sold at $399, a price that has worked well for Sony, but one that may not be plausible for this generation. So it's absolutely not plausible that it would be $400. I think it would be bananas if it was $450, because here's the thing. If you start selling consoles at a loss, the more you sell, the more in debt you get. Unless the parts magically get cheaper, the more you sell, the worse it gets. So it would be... And, like, PlayStation is such a big part of Sony's portfolio. Like, they're such a big part of that company, and it kind of like their success kind of rides on PlayStation selling well. So to sell it at a loss would just be a terrible decision, in my opinion. I think both consoles are going to end up being $500. I really do.
I do too, but you'd think they'd want one of them at least would want to make it cheaper so they could maybe possibly get more customers than the other.
Right, but the thing is, like, I mean, if either company was to do it, it'd be Microsoft, just because they have so much money and they can kind of eat that cost. But the thing is, like I said, the more you sell consoles at a loss, the deeper in debt you get. So it's not a great decision, and you can't like raise the price later on, really. So I don't know. It would be a poor decision in my opinion, because that $450, that's not including, like I said, that's not including retailer or shipping. Like, that's another big chunk, and I don't know. It just seems like a poor decision. And they were making crazy money on the PS4 because they were making like $11 a console or something like that. I think it might have been a little bit less, but still, you sell a couple 100 million of those, you're rolling in it. But if you start selling those at a loss, it's not as great. So, I mean, hardware margins are razor thin as it is. You barely make any money off. That's why hardware sales really don't matter. What matters is active users, because active users spend money on your marketplace and things like that. But you really don't make that much off of console sales. So it wouldn't make sense to sell it
based off of microtransactions and stuff like that. That's where they really make their money for sure. Which
Right, or you buying games on like the Microsoft Store, for instance, like you play on Xbox. So like if you buy a game on the Microsoft Store, a certain cut of that goes towards Microsoft. If you spend money on Game Pass, that goes towards Microsoft. Like all that different stuff is, so the more people you have in your ecosystem, the more money they're making because you're spending money on their ecosystem. The Counterplay Games team released several new images from PS5's upcoming exclusive Godfall. The images showed off several armor sets that will be in the looter slasher, giving audiences some semblance of what they'll be grinding for. So are you excited about Godfall, Ethan? Have you seen anything on it?
The graphics are pretty decent. The characters look really cool. Kind of reminds me of I feel like it's going to be, is it kind of like a hack and slash type game?
Okay, so the idea is it's a looter slasher. So it's not made by Gearbox, who makes Borderlands, but it's published by them. So they're not making the game, but it's published by them. So essentially, it's like you go around, you fight people, like melee combat, and then you grind for like loot, essentially. So yeah, it looks like a pretty game. I'm not 100% sold because I haven't seen a lot of gameplay or any gameplay, I don't think, yet. I think they've shown like a couple of GIFs or something like that, like really not that much, but so I can't really get a feel for what the game plays like, so I can't say, yeah, I'm excited or no, I'm not, but it looks pretty. The armors look cool, so I'm excited to see more from this.
I think it looks pretty cool. I'm going to have to look into it a little bit more before I get a real opinion on it, but from what I've seen so far, it looks like a good game.
More evidence points towards the infamous Toilet Bowl PS5 dev kit being indicative of the final look of the console, as the Japanese PlayStation site briefly had an icon up for the PS5 with that familiar V shape. Coupled with the unusually specific shape of the dev kit, many believe that the final console may be much different aesthetically than past consoles. So have you seen this Toilet Bowl dev kit design that's been going around?
I think it looks kind of cool.
Oh my god, no it doesn't. So this dev kit is not going to look like the final console. I'm not trying to indicate that at all.
Dude, it looks like a bathroom scale.
Why is that a positive? Why are you positive about that? I don't understand.
It looks pretty neat. Like it looks like a neat little console. Like what the hell?
The dev kit will not look like the final console. I'm not trying to say that, but it may end up being that V shape. I don't dig it. I don't like it. I'm glad that console makers are finally starting to take more risks other than making everything look like a goddamn set-top cable box, but I don't dig the toilet bowl design. I just can't get behind it. I really can't.
I like it a lot better than the new Xbox.
Dude, I love the monolith. See, I feel like, okay.
It looks like a giant
It looks like a fucking
block. It is.
It's block. Amazing. I love it. It's so beefy.
It's just girth. That is straight
It's all
girth. It's gross.
Yeah. I fucking love it. Well, it's because it's got so much shit in it, but I dig it. Yeah, no, I can see why people hate it, but I also kind of dig it, so I don't know.
And I'm not even really a PlayStation fan, and I like how this looked more than the fucking
I'm a fan
Xbox.
of both. I enjoy the PC tower looking Xbox. It's super clean to me. And I like the beef.
Yeah,
I'm about all of them. I love all of them. All of my children equally.
Oh, that makes one of them.
I have to be neutral. The rest of you all are like Xbox for life, and then there's Isaac who's like PC or nothing, and so I have to be neutral, man. I guess I could just shill PlayStation, but I mean, I'd rather just be neutral because I really do play games on I own all platforms, and I play games on all platforms, so I enjoy all of them.
Get off your high horse there.
Dreams was released for the PS4 last week to astoundingly good reviews, despite the relatively low number of reviewers. The game is a platform for user-generated content with the hope that it will grow into a thriving marketplace of user-made content. Several remakes of famous games such as Skyrim, Fallout 4, and Red Dead Redemption 2 are already being made by creators. Now, okay, these are not actual remakes. I don't think they're just like smaller versions of the game where it's like a tech demo kind of thing. Like nobody's going to make that expansive of a game in this. They're super awesome for like fun little games. I don't think you're going to be making any AAA titles in Dreams, but I see a lot of people think that they are now game developers. No, you're not. Stop.
Ooh, call them out. Okay, get them.
I'm just sick of seeing it's like, oh, I'm fucking developing this game. No, you're not. Shut up. Like, it's cool. I love that it exists. It's a really cool game, and it's awesome. Like they have a really cool like community setup, and like people are working really hard on some awesome stuff. I think it's a really awesome game. You're not a game developer. Stop. You're embarrassing yourself.
Shit.
Is Dreams something that you would pick up? Because I'm a little confused as to like what audience Dreams is for, because like game developers aren't going to use it, and I don't know that people are going to spend. I mean, maybe there's an audience that's going to spend hundreds of hours making stuff, but like I don't know. It seems like a Mario Maker kind of thing to me, but a little more intense.
Okay, like it sounds cool, yeah, but I feel like I wouldn't really have the time for it, and then it would just seem like a pointless buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I'm sure there's going to be a lot of really great games on there, but the vast majority are going to be dog shit, like unfinished games.
For sure. Like, remember Roblox?
Made by like little 12-year-olds. Yeah, like, it'll be like kind of like Roblox.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Dude, that game is still around and still has a relatively large audience.
I know. I saw it the other day, and I was like, I kind of want to play that, but isn't that creepy? Like, am I too old to play this game now? So I didn't.
You're not too old to play any game. Well, people might think you're a pedophile, I guess.
See, that's I don't want to get labeled.
You're like, hey, fellow children.
Hey,
all the like 8-year-olds will be like, hi, Ethan.
Just call
Ethan's our older friend, and moms will be like, get the fuck off there. Get off there right now. You're like, hey ma'am.
Your parent doesn't get you like I do, Timmy.
Like, ma'am, I'm here for completely consensual. I mean, completely good reasons. I'm just here to play the game. That's it. Just playing a little GTA remade and through really grossly proportioned Lego people. It's fine. A patent leaked for the PS5 controller, suggesting that it will contain a heartbeat sensor in the handles. This lines up with a strange ad that was released the other week showing off a bunch of exposed hearts. So did you see this ad? It's fucking crazy.
No, but this sounds ridiculous.
Okay. Okay, there's a lot that's ridiculous about it. So there was this ad that was released the other week that was like these fucking open bleeding, like, okay, the first minute of the trailer is just like really intense like music, and then like these people like sneaking like underground into this thing, and like underground it's like this dingy like fucking little lab with just like hearts open on like it like being suspended above tables, and just no context. And no, it didn't even say PS5, so everyone was like, what the fuck was that?
Goddamn fever dream.
Yeah, it was so weird. And then now this patent leaks that there might be a heartbeat sensor in the handles. So I think they're related, but I really honestly have no clue.
Why would you need that though, dude? Like that.
Okay, yeah, that's my next thing is what the fuck? Okay, other than for horror games, you might have some gimmicky mechanic, but like
my heart's beating honestly, really fast. Like,
oh, better do things. Like, yeah, I'm sure there's some shit. I'll bet Kojima requested this, honestly.
This is ridiculous.
It is. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's some gimmicky things you could do with it, but honestly, it's just going to drain the shit out of your battery, and it's going to make the console more fucking expensive.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would you do this?
You know
especially when you're struggling with costs.
They're just like, oh, like, let's do something different. Like, let's add like a fitness. Like, maybe they're going to like put out like a bunch of like fitness games or something.
So you have to like work out with the PlayStation controller in your hands?
Dude.
Like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
Put on a goddamn Fitbit.
I'm just imagining, like, Nintendo has that weird ring thing, so I'm just imagining you having to do yoga while holding a PlayStation controller so it can monitor your heartbeat. I don't know. Seems pretty pointless to me. It may not be in there. It's just a patent. Like, they patent stuff all the time. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be part of the controller. But
could be like
I like the look. It could be. It totally could be. And I like the look of that. They leaked a picture of the PS5 controller a while back. It looked pretty beefy. I'm a big fan of it, so excited to see what they do with it. Sony has announced that they'll not be attending PAX East due to the coronavirus. And the mayor of Boston got on his podium, and begged them to come back and blame it all on them. He said, Sony, I know we've had some rough times. And I know I'm not always the man that you want me to be. And I know if we don't sell those hot Frito chips that you want in the convention center, but I'll get them back. I
like
swear
those
to God.
Frito chips.
If you just come to me and let me be your boyfriend again.
I don't know.
The mayor of Boston said this, and I quote verbatim. That's a quote. That didn't actually happen.
If they're worried about the coronavirus, why don't they just drink Modelo?
Okay. So anyway, It seems weird to me because no other company, basically the mayor of Boston said to give in and not to give in to like fear mongering and stuff over this. And like, it seems weird because none of the other companies pulled out, like just Sony. I don't know. Do you think this is a good move? Do you think they're right to be concerned, or is this just a bunch of
I think it's a bunch of halloo. To be honest, they shouldn't have backed out. Because they're mixing out. They're dead. They're missing out on publicity for one, and for two.
Yeah, like they already backed out.
You
of
just
E3.
look like a bunch of bitches. Like no one else did. Why did they? Like I don't know.
Nintendo just put on fucking masks. They're like, let's go.
See,
we got a Yoshi.
Get some hand sanitizer, fucking get some preparation H wipes, and call it good.
All right, let's dive into the general news.
You want me to do this one?
Yeah, I want you to do this one.
All right, I will. Disney invites game developers to come and play in their basement of gargantuan properties at the DICE Summit. Disney Senior VP of Games and Interactive Experiences, Sean Shoptaw, said that they want to tap into the creativity across the industry and bring that to Disney's properties.
News at 11 with Sean Shoptaw. Anyway, yeah, so this is kind of cool. Like, Disney's like, hey, developers out there, other than fucking, DICE and Respawn, we want you to work with our properties. We want to expand that shit. I think it's smart for them. Let talented developers.
Yeah, because now you get like think about all the different games they can make and all the different, they got all the different.
Think about this:
working together.
A Tony Stark simulator, not Iron Man, just Tony Stark, made by Rockstar, in which you deal with the fundamental issues of alcoholism and womanizing in and just sexual misconduct in the workplace. And you're sued.
That just sounds like my Friday night, if you know what I mean.
You're sued by Pepper Potts, a young up-and-coming woman at the company who you've fallen for, but she has not returned your sexual advances, and so she threatens you, and you fall deep into a depression and begin drinking, and so you, as Tony Stark, have to crawl your way out of this bottomless pit of despair. Yeah, no, I think it would be a fun game for the whole family.
That sounds incredibly depressing, Lucas. I don't think that'd be fun for anyone. I disagree with you, and you need some fucking
That's
help.
probably true. Pitch me your game, Ethan. What's your any developer? You can pick any developer on the planet and any Disney property. So it could be The Simpsons. It could be fucking Star Wars. Whatever you want. Pitch me your game.
Oh, too much pressure. Okay.
All right, I'll give you another one in the meantime. Nintendo's Jojo Rabbit Simulator, where you play as a Nazi. I'm just kidding.
Man, I don't know. I want to see one of like when you Walt Disney and like you have to like run like Disneyland as like his frozen head and stuff, and yeah, like, that'd be cool. I don't know, man.
And the corporate infrastructure that lies within, that's now run by Philip J. Fry, as he desperately tries to run a company that he is not prepared to run whatsoever. As the coronavirus closes in, Disneyland becomes the last bastion of hope for humanity, as the walled gates are built so high the Imagineers can't even imagine what to build above them. As Goofy's echoing laugh reverberates through the last remnants of the park that aren't overrun by the zombies, you look up to the sky. You look up to the sky, and you just hear Mickey's voice in your, "Woohoo! It was a rough one, kid.
I don't like that.
You can sleep now. I'll avenge you." Anyway, that's my pitch.
Yeah, that was deep, Lucas.
The long-awaited return of the Prince of Persia series is finally here, in the most disappointing way ever, as the announcement of a new VR escape room called Prince of Persia Dagger of Time will be heading to 3,000 locations this year. Yeah, so those of you who were really hoping for a new Prince of Persia game, it's a VR escape room. Like, I have no doubt.
Yay!
I have no doubt it's probably fun, but like, oh my god, I don't care. Like, make a fucking Prince of Persia game. I loved Sands of Time, and I love Warrior Within, so I would really like to see them reboot this series proper, like a God of War level reboot. I think it deserves it. I think it's a cool property.
That's what I was thinking, yeah, like
give it some nice chunky combat, some fun, like,
put Jake Gyllenhaal as the fucking character. Make
absolutely
him the guy.
He is the Prince of Persia. Can you not tell by his deep tan that he has going on,
and his sunken eyes that just scream, "Let me out!"
and his puppy dog mouth as he begs you to give him back the dagger of the time travel. Now that I say it, sounds kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I don't either. Put Maggie Gyllenhaal, his sister, in there, and you just
hold on.
You just look at her fucking like droopy ass face the whole game as she runs around trying to find a dagger that controls time.
Yeah, I would not watch that.
I would masturbate vigorously to that.
You think she's hot?
No, not at all. What?
Oh, okay.
She's fucking hideous. Anyway.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure. I got this one, Lucas. Bulletstorm and Gears Judgment developer People Can Fly unveiled their new MMO light looter shooter Outriders this week. The game blends cover shooter mechanics with magical abilities and looks to be the new contender in the Destiny-dominated genre.
Yeah, so
I just recently saw a trailer for Outriders, and holy fuck, that looks badass, dude.
it looks really badass. I'm a little concerned that it's very close to Destiny, but it does look really cool, and I think it'd be cool to see that kind of cover shooter combat mixed in with the MMO light thing we got going on. Mm-hmm. And honestly, those games are a lot of fun, and I get bored with them after a while, so it's cool to see new games popping up in that genre.
Yeah, for sure. I was never really a fan of Destiny. I tried it, and I didn't get the point.
Me neither, dude. I just very recently got into it, and it was after about 18 times of me going, I should like this game. There's no reason I shouldn't like this game. I love the aesthetic. Why the fuck can't I get into this game? And I finally did after years and years and years. So yeah, no, it's something that is definitely not for everyone, I would say. But it's cool that there are more options now. Ronda Rousey has an exclusive game streaming deal with Facebook. The UFC star will be streaming every week, starting with an Australian bushfire charity stream yesterday, now that you're listening to this on Wednesday. So you fucking missed it. Good job, idiots. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. But yeah, so Ethan, are you really excited to watch your favorite UFC star, Ronda Rousey, stream games like a regular person and really get to know the inner Ronda?
Yeah, she's so quirky, and she's amazing, Lucas. She makes me have hope for humanity, and every day I just wake up and I just wish to God I could look like Ronda Rousey.
I know. I just wish she would take her python thighs and just slowly choke the life out of me.
Crush my head.
Yeah, absolutely. Just dissolve my fucking trachea. No, I don't give a flying.
You can go fuck herself.
Yeah, honestly, I don't give a flying shit about Ronda Rousey.
Yeah,
I laughed.
Good for her.
I laughed when she got the shit kicked out of her, and we got all those memes of her getting punched in the face. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was good times.
Ubisoft Massive is reportedly still working on an Avatar game, not the cool Avatar, but the James Cameron Unobtainium Avatar. That's right, the game that was originally announced in 2017 and is currently I fucked that up. Ubisoft Massive is reportedly still working on an Avatar game, not the cool Avatar, but the James Cameron Unobtainium Avatar. The game was originally announced in 2017 and is currently hiring talent to work on the project.
Hell yes. I've played the fucking original Avatar game for Xbox 360, dude. And honestly, pretty fun. I actually went to the disc traders the other day and I bought it.
Went to the disc traders. Went on down to the disc traders next to the Blockbuster Video, and I got myself a copy.
I was like, holy shit! I finally found the Avatar game, and I totally bought it. And
okay,
I've been having a hell of a time.
That game is absolute dog shit. I don't know why you like it.
Dude, your opinion on it is dog shit. Give it a chance.
I rented it. I played it for like 3 hours. I was like, this is the biggest waste of time I've ever experienced. Absolute cancer of the eyeballs. Made my ass just completely implode with frustration at how much I had spent on this, which was a total of like $3. I hated it. I hated every part of it. Movie's not good either.
Well, I hate you.
The movie is just fucking cat blue people, but it's Pocahontas. That's it.
Okay, fair enough, but the game... I don't want to get into this, Lucas, because I'll be arguing about this all night. That is a good game.
It's not. It's a bad
Fuck
game.
You, man. Footage surfaced this week of the canceled StarCraft Ghost. The third-person console shooter was announced in 2002, but wasn't officially canceled until 2014. I have played StarCraft once. I thought it was very cool. I love like little strategy games like that. So I think a third-person shooter of that sounds really cool.
Yeah, it sounds dope. I would definitely have played it if it came out, but it didn't. So I mean, I'm not like heartbroken over this. It's not like I'm like, oh my god, this game, if it had come out, it would have changed my life. Like I'm like, that's cool. I would have played that. Whatever, you know. I like StarCraft. It's not like my favorite series of all time, but it's a cool little universe, so I would have played it for sure.
Yeah, me too.
We have some a little bit of positive news as Sega's Little Blue Nightmare That Could defied expectations last week as the Sonic movie took the record for highest domestic opening of any video game adaptation ever. And that's domestically, so that's only in the U.S. That's not including like Warcraft and Detective
You'd think
Pikachu.
it'd be like super popular in like Japan or something.
You'd think, but I mean, it may have been popular worldwide. I didn't even look, but domestically, it made a ton of money. Like worldwide,
that doesn't surprise me. Like honestly, when I first saw it, I was like, "Good God, why would you watch that?" But now they redesigned him.
I'm totally.
They got Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman. Like I'd totally
Dr.
watch
Robotnik. Yeah, no, I totally am the opposite.
Wait, what? His name's Dr. Robotnik?
Yeah. I'm totally the opposite.
Why am I calling him Dr. Eggman?
I am the Eggman.
What the hell? I am the walrus.
Anyway, I'm totally the opposite on this. Like video game movies like Warcraft and Detective Pikachu have made like buttloads of money worldwide while they haven't made a ton domestically. So it's impressive that this is making money domestically. I would have gone and see it if they had kept Nightmare Sonic, but they didn't. They fixed it, so now it looks nice. I'm like,
dude,
why would I give a shit?
badass.
Why would I give a shit about a Sonic movie unless it was so atrocious that I absolutely like it demands my attention? Like I must see it.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I want to see Cats so bad because it's so bad.
It looks scary.
I know.
It looks scary.
I'm waiting for. I'm not going to pay money for that, but I'm excited to watch it when it comes out on like whatever fucking streaming service.
A positive story to round out the week. There will be a documentary about Tony Hawk's pro skater game called Pretending I'm Superman, going into the backstory of the game inception and development.
Yeah, so
pretty cool. I have a lot of memories playing the old fucking pro skater games, man.
Hell yeah, dude! Those games were fucking awesome.
Yeah, the soundtrack's great. Rage Against the Machine always
kick
got a soft
flips
spot
into
for
the
them.
fucking universe. Yeah, dude.
Remember
fun.
making your own skate park and like putting spikes down everywhere and it's like shit
dude.
like that. Remember when you could unlock the Slim Jim guy?
Yes, I know exactly what the fuck you're talking
And Spider-Man. There are so many like this wacky, great things about that game that I love. Like fucking. I didn't realize the guy from My Name Was Earl was a fucking skateboarder before he, did that show. And I was like, holy shit, Earl's on here.
Yeah, like, there's no reason those games should have been good. So I'm actually interested to see, like, what went into the development and, like, where that idea even came from. That it,
oh
like,
my god, you don't see me like a bunch of bros. It's like, yeah, so we're like,
fucking ripping some monsters, bro. And we were just sitting here and I hit the blunt and I was like, Tony, what if we made a fucking game, Tony? It's a game.
Butt tugging for logos.
Yeah.
Man, I think that's gonna be cool. I'm gonna check that out for sure.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to see the inside the mind of Tony Hawk. All he does nowadays is tweet about when people don't recognize him, and it's kind of hilarious.
He looks like a sad bird.
He absolutely does. His name's fitting. But no, like, I remember reading this one about, like, he goes to Starbucks, and the chick's like, oh, like the Tony Hawk? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, ha ha ha, whatever.
Oh my god. You know that pisses him off so bad. It would be.
Oh my god.
Goodness.
Yes. I'm hoping there's a lot of just him getting rejected by fans in the show, so.
That'd be sweet.
All right, well, that's all we got for this week. Ethan, thank you for making your first ever appearance, one of many, on this podcast. And we look forward to years and years of your champagne-like voice bubbling all over our eardrums.
And into your stomachs.
Blessing us. Yeah. And you vomit just a little bit. You just... And, yeah. Look forward to coverage of Baldur's Gate on the 27th, upcoming games such as Gears Tactics, Doom Eternal, Animal Crossing, Bleeding Edge, The Last of Us Part 2, and all your other gaming news right here on the Joystick Division podcast. I'm sorry I said that like a frat bro. Ethan, do you have anything to say to the people before we head out?
Thank you all for letting me do this. I appreciate it. My parole officer said that it'd probably be good for my mental health after the incident. I won't get into that really, but thanks for having me, and I hope I don't lose. I hope I don't help. Wait, hold on. What? Rewind. Okay, so you know what? Fuck it. I hope you all have a good night. Thanks for having me. That's all I'm going to say.
And if you want to help Ethan, please mail a shank and a birthday cake to the Ionia prison in Fort Lauderdale, Connecticut.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in to the Joystick Division podcast. If you have questions you'd like us to answer on the show, tweet them at us at JoystickDP. If you'd like to support the show, please leave us a review, like, or subscribe. All of those things help the show immensely, and we appreciate all of you. Thanks for listening.